And we are live. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, Internet people. How is everybody?
What's on your face?
I don't know. I think it's something we're going to talk about today. Why is it on my face?
It's been approved.
My face is approved?
What a pun there. Like it.
Oh,
We got a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we do.
We can probably chit chat for a few minutes until people start rolling on.
Rolling.
How y'all been doing this week?
I've been working on this.
Rolling.
How y'all been doing? Well, I've been doing great. Can't wait for a tournament this weekend. I get to try out the new chapter approved book.
I've been working on this.
Ooh. Working on your knights.
Yes. All that gold trim on every piece.
That's good. You're getting work done, man. You got to get those done.
I know. Oh, I'm going to get all my armors done.
You're well ahead of me, dude. I've got 25 models to paint by Las Vegas Open. I am lag. I finally got this paint scheme all worked out. I was going to work on it today because I was like, normally I have Tuesdays off, but we had a change in scheduling. So I had no days off until Thursday and Friday, which is cool because that's 2 days in a row. And I'm going to be cranking out some painting. I'll get probably 2 whole custodes done by then.
You should get Saturday off and go to the tournament.
I would love to. However, I cannot. I would love to, but starting next year, I am going to be having Saturdays off, it looks like.
Correct.
Yes. And I'll be able to start playing in tournaments. I'm really excited about that.
I know. So you could start making it to the AOS tournaments. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. That's commitment, John. Yeah.
I think someone's at my door. I'll be right back.
Tell them you're doing a live show. You don't have a light outside your building like the rest of us that say live and it flashes?
No, you don't.
As soon as that Rapture box set drops,
I've got a red light.
Demons from our army.
What's that?
I was talking to Ski about AOS. As soon as that Wrath and Rapture box set drops,
wow. Okay.
More demons.
So that box, for everybody that's watching that doesn't know anything about it, or if they do, if you play any of those 2 factions or thinking about it, this is the box to buy. You're going to save so much money. On the corn side alone is more than what the box retail is.
Yep.
So get it while you can. I would love to play one of those 2 factions, but since I already have Iron Jaws, I don't want to play a better army for tournament play. So I'm not, Corn is actually a better army. And Slanesh, I don't know. I just like the Harpy.
Who scoffed at Corn?
Corn. They can't take heads anymore. They just take arms and limbs now. They're not taking skulls.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm excited about those Slanesh models.
All plastic. The Seekers are creepy. If you actually look at them, they're looking models, man.
I'm going to say, if you guys get a chance, take a look at the hind end, and just don't look at the front end of the keeper or the fiend model. Just look at the tail end, and we can see that Games Workshop is not going for the PC.
Oh no.
A lot of people were concerned that, oh no, Games Workshop is going to make this all PC. We're not going to have these disgusting, pleasure depraved demons. No, GW is like, no, we're doing this.
Yep.
Hold my beer.
They did it very well.
Do be warned, though, once you see it, you cannot unsee it.
That's true. It is true. It is.
I got to look at this now. while y'all are doing this.
It's quite.
My only worries is, though, while he's looking at this, is they're bringing out this amazing box set, great price, great looking models, some new models. You've got the Harp, you got the Karnak, you got the new Flesh Hounds, Flesh Hounds, right? The Corn Hounds.
Yeah.
The Plastic Seekers and the Fiends. Like it's an amazing kit.
What am I looking at on the Fiend? I don't see anything.
Where's the Slanesh book at for AOS or 40K?
I can answer part of that.
Okay, good. That's good. I'm glad you can.
That when I talk about, I guess I can start talking about rumors right now, or at least about that. This falls under rumors, so take it with a grain of salt. Maybe not a cup of salt, maybe like a tablespoon or something like that size shot glass. Coming just around springtime, they're looking before March, but I'm thinking probably late January, early February. Slanesh is going to drop for AOS and or Warhammer 40,000. And then shortly after that will be Emperor's Children. Shortly could be 3 to 6 months. But Slanesh is going to launch around the first of the year. I'd say before spring hits. So hopefully that'll all come true, because that'll be another rumor that my guys passed on. That's correct.
Yep.
Okay, at this Fiend,
All right.
what am I looking for?
Let me help you.
It's blowing my mind.
Did you see a screen?
Oh, look how the legs are.
There are click me. It's infinite, but there you go.
They're backwards.
Yeah. Well, imagine those legs are attached to a torso, and the torso is laying down
Or leaning back.
or leaning back. What's there? What's up between his legs?
What is betwixt his legs?
That's a tail. Hello.
Well, if you look at the model from the other point of view, yes, it is a tail. But if you were to look at that like he's leaning back, that's a normal, I guess, demon leaning back. He's got a very large third leg.
Oh my god. Wow.
And now it's in your brain.
Why
You're
did I do
welcome.
this to myself?
You're welcome, sir. We love you.
Now you'll always see that all the
Yes.
time.
I'm
Yeah,
hoping-
model, you're
I'm
like,
gonna look at my blood gore guys to get my mind back correctly.
All right, man. So, but back to the Slanesh thing. Yeah, it's looking like late January, sometime February, Slanesh should be dropping. Once again, it's rumor, but it follows a pattern that they followed with Nurgle and Tzeentch before that. I think Khorne was the only one that didn't follow that format. I think they came out in the fall when they first launched.
And I think they came out separate too. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'll be totally separate.
But I think it was I think there was a big gap because they redid Khorne for AOS. So I think I think that's the only one that actually kind of did separate, like a big separate.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing is I think we're going to find out real soon. It's coming up, and some of these rumors I have is coming from a couple people, and I think they're going to be tied in with the Warhammer World Open Day or whatever, the New Year's Open Day that's coming up in about a week or so. They have AOS or Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40,000 sneak peeks of upcoming releases. And these are going to be immediate releases, so within a month or two, maybe 3. So I think that's where they're going to go, hey, by the way, Slanesh is on its way. So we could be seeing it in January.
So you got Slanesh, we got Emperor's Children. We still wait on the Destruction, Goblin, Isk, who knows what, AOS army, as well as the rest of the Underworld Shadespire stuff, or Underworld's
Correct.
Night Vault stuff, I should say.
4 more teams, I think.
Yep.
3 or 4.
did we break TJ?
Why?
Look at his face.
He's happy. That's his happy face. Hello.
Yeah.
I'm reading the rules on the Fiends and chapter approved. They're disgusting. They moved 14 inches. What is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
It's not fair.
It's about as long as their tail too.
Yeah, right.
So
bad.
when you move in, do you measure from their tail?
Yep. They measure back.
All right, so
Well, then you can lie about a couple inches, right?
Depends how far they think back.
For a second there, I was thinking like human centipede or something.
Oh my gosh.
oh, that's perfect. That's exactly That's
Me,
a good way to
me and Mr. Miller said that. We looked at it like, oh, look at the human centipede.
You probably can match a couple of them together and do that. Yeah.
So besides probably the Slaanesh reveal coming up at this New Year's Eve event, there's going to be a Warhammer 40K stuff, and it looks like, no guarantee, that's when they're going to announce Gene Stealer cults. Not in time for LVO. My understanding is that there are no new releases between now or no new pre-orders between now and January 5th, which is a huge gap. But that's when, I think January 5th is when we'll start seeing the new pre-orders. I don't think they're going to get pre-ordered on the 5th. That's possible. I think that'll actually be the 12th is when the pre-orders will pop up for Gene Stealer cults. I could be wrong, and my source could be wrong, but all the information kind of points towards that.
Yeah, because the last pre-order that I know of is the Noise Marine, right?
Yeah, this week is Noise Marine and the Wrath and Rapture. And the only way you're going to be able to get that Noise Marine is going to your either Games Workshop or friendly local game store, because they're not selling it online. So the only way you're going to get it is to get into stores. And it's not a limited time only, or like an immediate limited time only, like while supplies last, like get it this weekend or don't get it at all. But it's not going to be up forever. Kind of like the Kill Team starter box or core box, no longer available. That was just for an extended limited time.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm glad I knew about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what else
about that.
I don't know what else is going to be released on that open day. It doesn't look like anything Forge World. This is strictly a Warhammer or a Games Workshop. I know that they're both the same company essentially, but this is strictly the Games Workshop side of the house, not the Forge World side of the house. Forge World side of the house will be probably February, March. I think that's when they have their next open day, or it's the Horus Heresy Day, which is going to be huge. Sanguinius, anybody?
Well, I don't think they're going to release Sanguinius yet. I think it's going to be the book, and I think it's going to be now. Call me whatever you want on this one, but I know the book is going to be. I already seen some stuff about the book, and that's almost guaranteed. What gets me, and I read this today, and John, you might agree with me on this one. In all the black books, there's no art like they leaked recently. That type of art is not a Forge World art. That's a Games Workshop art.
Mm-hmm.
So that could lead into some kind of, there it is, perfect. That is not, I mean, unless some Forge World people finally got into an art department, that's a Games Workshop art, and that could be a. This is something someone told me. You had Prospero Burns. You had what was the Ultramarine one?
Betrayal at Calth.
Betrayal at Calth. The word on the street with a lot of salt is this might be a new box set coming for Blood Angels, because this fight with
Karnath, Kondath, some super greater demon.
Yeah, which is an amazing fight. Like this, Blood Angels die, everything goes crazy, and this is to be an amazing box set for it. So I don't think Sanguinius is going to be. I think it's going to be at the back end. I don't think they're going to show it. They might show like they did at all the open days, like the torso up, work in progress.
Yeah,
but they won't show an actual model. I don't think it's going to be released this week. Well, during that time frame.
I agree with that. And that kind of goes with. And that kind of goes with. It kind of coincides with because their next year starts the whole March to Terra. So that whole Siege of Terra thing is supposed to be kicking off next year, and supposedly whatever's been going on at Forge World, they're going to be pushing forward with the whole Horus Heresy line now. It's like they've got their momentum back, and we're going to start seeing stuff being cranked out.
And then the secret model though, I'm gonna guess on my secret model that they showed up on Facebook, the whole like followers. I think it's going to be Red
Angel.
He's the space wolf. Harold Deathwolf no, not Harold Deathwolf.
No. The guy that turns into the massive wolfen.
No. The guy with the axe and the heavy bolter.
Bran Redmaw.
Let me grab back up. Hold on.
Okay.
So are we still talking about the Forge World picture of the two heretics flying in the air? There's two demons out there flying, fighting each other. That Forge World picture?
That's a demon and a bloodthirster fighting in the
air. Yeah. Man, no one's got wings and can fly that's not a heretic.
Exactly.
I'm coming from the 40K's perspective now.
Wait, you're still looking at it?
Never happened. I don't even know who Horus is.
One other rumor dripping with like saline and just oozing nasty salt.
Wait, there's not a lot of salt in saline. It's kind of diluted.
Whatever. Okay. I think we're talking Great Salt Lake or the Salt Plains in Nevada. Whatever.
What about the Black Sea? The Black Sea has so much salt you can float.
Yeah, it's fine. God, I hate you. I'm friends for like 30 seconds. I swear to God. So people talking about Ynnari especially after chapter proof. Ynnari aren't going to get anything. It's not going to happen. They suck, etc., etc. Except they don't. They're still one of the top ranked armies. Ynnari are nowhere in sight for getting a codex or new models. Wink, wink.
Something wrong with your eye?
What's that?
You have something in your eye.
Yeah, I do. It might be salt.
Oh.
Salt.
It was announced I think it was last year or earlier. Sorry, man, I'm getting my years mixed up. Earlier this year, so around January, February time, they had talked about they're not going to be messing with Ynnari until they have all the new models and wink. And then once they have the new models up and running, then they'll start getting the book and everything ready. And that was about almost a year ago. And so I would suspect, now GW's usually practices about 9 months to a year before they drop a new product line. That's when they will have everything finished and they'll start going into production. And so my guess, and based on a little bit of information passed to me, they're probably starting up production soon on the Ynnari. And we might be seeing them in the fall of next year.
You did it here, folks. John said definitely Ynnari starting happening.
You're killing me. That's going to pass around on the internet, and people are going to hate me. And I'm going to get hate mail. I'm going to get death threats from these death cults that
FNP Wargamers does not back up anything that John says or have the same feeling, so he is acting alone. He's going rogue.
But is it the internet? Like, that's the truth? Like, that's law, right? The internet's law? Like,
I mean, but you do know, guys, that, like, did y'all listen to the first Voxcast on 40K when they interviewed Jess Goodwin?
Mm-mm.
No, was it Jess Goodwin? Who did they interview on the Voxcast, the first one? He was a main project designer for 40K, right?
Yep.
He says when they do a new model line, it takes like 2 to 3 years.
Yep.
From the time they start until the time it's in production.
Yeah.
He said AdMech took like took almost 4 years to do.
And this year will be year 3 really for the Ynnari.
Yeah.
Since they were done prior to their initial release. So
we're looking at that timetable. So
I'll accept your apology later, Jonathan, when I am right.
I totally agree with John, not Jonathan.
But look, it's still rumorville. We're not going to be seeing sneak peeks because right now they're going to be focusing on all the Slanesh stuff, Gene Stealer cults, and of course Sisters of Battle, which I'm sure we're going to talk about here in just a minute. Don't expect any big Sister Battle information release until my guess is close to Adepticon or at Adepticon.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds like
I've got nothing to support that, but I feel like Adepticon is kind of like the Games Workshop event, since they can go there, set up a booth, apply their wares, and put on seminars and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's where they're going to announce that, since they did that last year.
Whether it be Adepticon or Nova.
Yeah. I don't think Nova. I think we're gonna, from my understanding and my guessing, I think we're gonna see Sisters of Battle before summer. I think it's going to be their year-end closeout release. So I'm guessing around May, June.
Chicks in power armor, I dig it.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't even paid attention to chat. Sorry if anybody's been.
They've just been saying we also need to congratulate Jonathan for graduating this week.
What do you graduate?
Yeah. Thanks.
What'd you graduate? What'd you do?
I got handed a piece of paper, and I wore a pretty neat hat.
What did the hat say? Anything?
I didn't put words on my hat because I don't do that.
Baseball cap?
Oh yeah. People's children.
I know, right?
Decorate their hats. I seen it.
I thought you would have put like this big Nurgle thing on top of your head. That's what I thought you would do.
Or FNP, so you get some free advertisement. I was saying.
FNP on your gown,
Yeah, man, you should have treated that whole getup as a big walking billboard. Sponsor.
He gone up on stage after he got it and had FNP on the back and been like this. FNP, and as he walked on stage screaming it.
I can see taking the mic. Go to our website, FNP. I could just see it right now. Do like a little 5-second commercial bit,
You think we should probably do that in the future, right?
Say what?
We should definitely do that in the future. Who's graduating next?
Ski.
No, I got time. I got a long time.
Okay, well you're going to graduate before I do. I'm going back to school in the fall.
Oh, I got I got a long time.
I'm pushing for. I'm going to basically push for my PhD, but really I'm just going to be shooting for my master's. But the program that I'm doing I have to choose one or the other. So I'm like, might as well go for the PhD. And if I get along the way, I'm like, I'm done with school. I'll just get my master's.
Yep.
Very good.
Well, that is it for the rumors.
Did we have to call you doctor if you get your PhD?
You better.
Dr. Owens.
Yes. I'm so excited.
Can I say just Dr. John?
Oh, even better. Yeah. But yeah, that's it for my rumors. Remember, guys, it's all just take it with a grain of salt or a couple cups of salt, and make sure you hydrate because it's a lot of salt sometimes.
Very, very much.
That'd probably kill you.
It could. You could get sodium ion intoxication, and you could die. Yeah. Google. I know some of you are Googling that right now. Sodium ion intoxication. It's a thing. It's a thing.
For drinking too much water too.
Jonathan, is that what we had a problem this weekend? Is that why we're having our issues? We have too much salt this week, so that's why we're having issues.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's my tidbit.
Question then. What do you guys think of this? So me and my friend, a long time ago, I'm gonna put his first name out there, Devin. He's one of my best friends gonna be for life, military friend. We used to stand out in our patio / parking area in Hawaii and talk about 40K and Games Workshop and things they need to do and things would make things better, like in a general aspect, right? and we always talked about an animated series. And look what they drop.
Oh,
What do you think about that?
I can't believe I even forgot about well done.
Okay. Okay. So
go for it, Jonathan. You first.
The video was pretty neat. Okay. However, I feel that other videos I have seen that were fan made looked a little bit better quality. Maybe. I haven't seen the whole thing, so I don't know. And so I'm just saying, I don't know, a lot of people are gonna be mad, but I think I'm hoping that the quality is gonna be better. And this is just a quick run.
Okay.
That's my take. But I'm pretty excited either way because you're talking to someone who likes Ultramarines, and TJ has his opinion on Ultramarines, and I thought it was neat.
I liked Ultramarine.
I liked it because I got to find out what a bolter sounded like.
It was in the time frame they made that with, like, everything that the Games Workshop. I think they did what they could do in the time frame they did it, and I think it worked out.
Either way, I liked it. It was back when I first started, and I watched it, and I was like, I didn't know anything about lore, so it didn't ruin it for me. Until I learned later.
What's going on with my video?
Say what?
Oh, you guys are moving normally. I don't know what just happened.
Oh, it said you cut off the video.
Anyway, using a time loop.
Anyway, so I watched it again after I knew a little bit more about the lore, and then I was really taken back because I'm like, wait a minute. How's a demon prince getting wrecked by these little twerps? So that was my take on it.
Okay.
So,
Dr. Owens, can we get your prescription on this?
Ooh.
Are we talking about the video still?
Yes.
Well, if I take a look at it from a couple different perspectives, it looks like it's, if I understood correctly, it's from the guys that did the Hell's Reach fan films online. And so I'm not expecting great quality from them. I think it's going to be very artistic and very dark, kind of like the Hell's Reach. So we're not going to see that awesome details like the Lord Inquisitor project or the Death of Hope project. And that Death of Hope project, they got an updated video that's coming soon. I don't think we're going to see that level of quality, but we're going to see something almost like, have you ever seen those cartoons or movies that are not movies, but animated features? They're kind of like animated comic books, I guess. They don't have the full range of the comics, but what they'll do is basically cutting and slicing the characters, and they'll be sliding across the, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Marvel did it with a bunch of their earlier animations before they started actually making animated movies, which still suck. But I think it's not going to be the greatest quality, but I'm still excited about it because it's a chance to see it in action. As long as it's not from this other perspective I was talking about, is the Ultramarines movie. And I feel sorry for anybody that bought the collector's edition.
Do you not like the Ultramarines movie?
You know, I kind of do. I probably like one of the half a dozen that do like it. There's definitely a lot of issues with it, but for the fact that they came out with something like that when they did, and I get to see it in action, I do like it for that fact. Story, dialogue, the disrespect, it's like they didn't take the time to research. It felt like they didn't take the time to research how Marines interact, and the way that half those Marines are treating the apothecary. Like, first thing, in the military, you don't mess with your corpsman or your battlefield doc. Yep. You treat them like gods. And the fact that those Marines in the Ultramarine movie were treating him with open disrespect. It just blew my mind. But yeah, I think this new movie, the Blood Angels, Angels of Death, whatever it's called, I think it'll be good. It's not going to be, Academy Award or Oscar winning, but it's going to be good to watch.
I'm
But
excited to hear TJ's.
I can't wait.
So, okay.
He had a
I bought the Ultramarines Collector's Edition.
I have it.
So my first was the sound quality was horrible, which I was very annoyed at because I paid like $40 or $50 for this thing, and the sound quality was really bad. And then yes, my problem I think with the whole storyline was the fact that it didn't feel like they had GW writers or like their normal set of writers actually write the movie, because the lore and everything else that went along with it wasn't the same. So I am not quite sure on what they did on that portion of it. But I mean, I did enjoy the fact that it was Space Marines. They were killing each other, and it was cool. And there's a whole bunch of action going on. The only thing I'm scared about this movie is, well, it looks like they're going to use Angels of Death, I think, which is a book or some sort of like, I guess, book or something, or some sort of audio drama they wrote, and they're making it into a story, which will be good. But I think the storyline will probably be good. I'm just worried about the animation because it kind of looks like the Ultramarines movie. And, I would hope they would do something closer to Dawn of War quality.
Yeah.
That's just my thoughts.
My biggest worry is they could have went and did anime. They could do so much more with anime than what they're trying to do now. That's my biggest complaint. Because, I mean, it's going to be what it is. If it's going to be good, bad, I don't know. I think they could have done better with other sources out there. But I think if they would have went to an anime type deal, I think it would be the sky's the limit at that point.
I'm going to watch it regardless.
Oh, yeah, hands down.
Oh, yeah, I'm watching it regardless. I don't think there's any point of it. I don't think anyone is not going to watch it, to be honest with you. So, it shall be interesting. But, yeah, I'm the biggest fanboy in the world, so I'm going to watch it anyways. And then I'll be like, oh, that was a waste of my time, or it was really good. So,
yeah, I'm not expecting it to be great. I'm going in with low expectations. I'm going to enjoy it for the quality of it is, and just to see the animated action. It's until they get their heads out of their rears. And I love Games Workshop. I would have been doing this for 30 years if I didn't. But this is that multimedia platform is wide open for them. I mean, studios would just throw money at them if they could just use their IP for this. And it's such a shame that I understand they're trying to protect their IP, and I think they're in a very good place to protect their IP. And they need to move forward now. We need movies or better animated clips, or heck, even a Netflix show. Man, imagine a Netflix show of like the Marvel Netflix shows, Daredevil or anything like that. That quality, following like an Inquisitor around, or a small guard squad, something of that level and that caliber, that grittiness. Man, they would draw so much more attention to themselves. I feel like they're wasting an opportunity.
But
this could do what?
Oh, I don't think they could ever reach that. It'd have to be rated R, and I don't think they could even do 3/4 of what the audio dramas and the books describe for tenses of graphic and was it the what's the word I'm looking for? Ripping people apart. Like there's so much. I'm gonna say hate, but there's so much violence. That's what I'm looking for. Malice. There you go. In the stories, in the audio dramas, that I don't think they could ever produce that and put that on it would be calmer. I
think they could. I mean, have you seen like was it Altered Carbon, or like I said, any of the Marvel things? Even some of the Netflix original movies some are just they're bad.
Yeah, but
I mean, in a good way, but I mean, just like
yeah.
violent sex scenes, and it's just, I think they could.
Is Altered Carbon good?
Yes, amazing.
Oh,
Amazing.
Oh.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh, I mean, y'all saw like the last Rambo they came out with, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
Oh, good.
The scene where you're like shooting the 50 caliber and just like blowing people in half.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 40K right there, baby.
I think it's worse, but
That with like 300, right? And then you have like the orgy scene in 300, and that's like perfect finesse house right there.
Yeah, I still think there's some things that they like. Ski, what you're saying, going along with what you're saying is, still think that there's a couple things that they're going to miss the mark on just because they cannot reach that level of violence or depravity.
Yep.
But I think they can get pretty close to what would be acceptable between the fan base and what society might think. I don't think they're never going to be able to get to that level. Just like, all these Cthulhu style movies can never quite capture insanity and horror at the level the novels are trying to portray, but they can get pretty close.
True.
You know who I think would be a perfect series for them to make a movie out of?
My Little Pony?
No, Sci-Fi's Pain.
Yeah, I was just gonna took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, Sci-Fi's Kane, hands down. That would be perfect actually for a series or a movie. Oh, that'd be hilarious.
And they could even
Get
introduce
the grim darkness, but you'd also get the comedy. It'd be amazing.
Very humanizing, and that's something that these movies or TV shows, whatever they decide to do, they have to find a way to connect the audience to the characters, and that's why you don't see a lot of books from like the Orc or Eldar perspective. And this is something that they had mentioned years ago. It's because it's hard for people to get attached to a character that's not human, that thinks differently, acts differently than how we do. So yeah, Cyber Kane would be perfect.
Or if they want to go fantasy, they could go Gotrek and Felix. That would be a good series.
no
Oh,
the new Iron Man is amazing.
But yes, they could totally get something with an animated series. Amazing.
man, just put it in the hands. Well, don't put it in the hands of George R.R. Martin, because he'll just start. Oh, I love this character. Nope, he's dead.
But that's the grim dark. Unless you're a Kagar or Grimnar or Dante, everybody else is like, yeah, I'm a champion. Oh, we sacrificed him for the greater good. That's the grim dark.
Yeah. And as long as Sean Bean is in it, we should be okay. Because his characters always die. You start getting attached, like, oh, this will be a cool character. Nope. Next episode, he's dead.
I did some research on that. That's all false. He's not the most killed off character.
No.
Oh, really? Why'd you have to say that now? Now you make me look like an ass.
But think of what Colonel Schaefer's Last Chancers. Make a series out of that, and you have like Terry Crews as one of them, and like you can put up this line of characters, and it's that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah.
There's a lot of potential there, and they're missing out.
Yeah.
But then again, they might already have that planned out. We might be seeing that in the future. They're just slowly building. Especially, I mean, look at what they've done in the past 2 years with all their hobby lines, and the way that they've thrown those licensed games out there to see what sticks, what doesn't. I mean, they're making a big move, and I just wish they would stop just kind of throwing stuff out there all willy-nilly. And there's a couple games that are coming out that I'm like, do I really want to see Warhammer 40,000 Monopoly or Warhammer 40,000 Munchkin?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Or Dice Masters, Warhammer 40,000. I'm sure it's great ways to get people connected that never really did the games, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's all good.
Sometimes you gotta throw it and see if it sticks.
Yep.
Yeah, and it works. It does, and I just wish they
would do it. They're just like, oh, we need like triple our income. So here.
That's also, even if they're not even tripling their income, they are getting more of a presence out there. It's almost like being an Instagram star. You're without having an attractive model on there, but you what's that?
Let me ask you this: how do you feel when someone approaches you and they're like, "Oh, I'm a Warhammer fan too," and be like, "Oh, well, what do you know about it?" Or I played Dawn of War.
It's a start.
Yeah. Oh, okay. For me, as having worked at Games Workshop, working at Ed Games, and maybe working at another store in the near future, to me, that's a great opportunity as a sales conversation to draw somebody else back into, or draw somebody into the hobby, because it's like, you love that, man. What happens when you're done beating the game? There's not. I mean, what are you going to do now? You're going to wait for Dawn of War 4, Dawn of War 5, or you can just go ahead and check out the actual miniature game, what it's based off of. And man, dudes and chicks, they dig having those miniatures and painting them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, male and female. I mean, there's a disparity there in the male-female gamer market. It's like 28% of women or 20% of players are women, but that's a huge number, by the way. But they come in, they go, well, I saw we played this Dawn of War game or Space Marine or their tablet games, and we start showing the Warhammer 40,000 stuff, and their mind is just blown. And when you walk them through, hey, this is how easy it is to put these models together. This is how easy it is just to slap paint on, and they come back for more. And it's a great way to hook people in.
Age of Sigmar / Warhammer Fantasy is the same way. Same way.
I don't think anyone saw that, TJ.
Yeah, he's combing his hair. It's all good.
Yeah, it's just a.
Well, it was just a comb by.
Well, yeah, I mean, Chris, you've got Total War draws people in. We've got all those video games like the Vermintide.
Oh yeah, Vermintide's amazing. Both of them, 1 and 2.
And there was another one that was coming out. I can't remember what it's called.
There was one back in the day on PlayStation, original PlayStation, that it was you're up against Skaven, and it was more like a, let's say, strategy RTS, but it was weird on PlayStation. I don't remember what it's called, but that's where it hooked up a lot of people because it was amazing.
There was Mark of Chaos.
Yes, that's another one.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, these video games, I think they are a great way to hook people in. And the only thing that I had to be careful about is like not to correct them too much. Like when they start going, oh, the lore is this, and this. I'm like, yeah, kind of, except it's a lot bigger, and it's actually, there's a lot more nuances to it than what you got. So you got to be delicate because you don't want to crush their soul yet. Wait till they get their army in and then crush their soul and then tell them, look, you were wrong, but we got you into the hobby, and sucker. But seriously though, it's I like those conversations.
For a little while, I thought that there was a specific age group, and the only kids I'd ever see that played 40K is because their dads played 40K. And we actually, at the store, our youngest player, whose parent doesn't play games, is 12. And he has an AOS army, and he's starting a 40K army. So it's pretty impressive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I have when I first moved here, I took over a Games Workshop there in Tomball, and my youngest player was 9 or 10. Nicholas was his name, and I watched this kid grow up. I mean, I graduated the same year he did from college. What's that?
Oh, I'm just kidding.
But he graduated 17 years old from college. What's that?
I said you graduated, and I said what, during the moon landing?
Age. So we got 45 seconds now. We're not friends, but I watched that kid grow up. Watched him grow up and play in the game, and the kid would always like,
He must be a really good painter.
What's that?
I bet he's a good painter.
Oh, he is now. At first, it was like, but you couldn't expect it for a kid. But he's gotten a lot better. He does commission paintings now.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. That little young guy.
Yeah. So what do you got there on your chest, by the way, TJ?
Book. Great book.
Ooh, girl.
Vigilus. Defiant. This is a good book. Y'all have to pick it up. It's got formations in it again.
Elaborate.
Oh my God, formations.
You have to elaborate.
It's gonna break again. Oh my God, it's all over with. We're all gonna die. 40K is broken.
I knew it. It's going down.
Yep, going downhill.
I'm burning my armies and filming them.
Yep.
Well, what can you tell us about Vigilus?
Okay, so what I'm gonna say is that this book right here, it's got some campaign stuff and it does have the formations, right? They don't have every single army in here with formations, but I've read over all the formations. Some are good, some are bad, some you'll never see, and then the most thing is most of them are command point very heavy. So there's some really good ones like. So let's go through them real quick. We'll just go over a brief overview of each one. And I'll tell you which ones I think are good and which ones suck.
While you're flipping to it, so when you say command point heavy, so you're actually having to pay for stuff and not you're not getting it for basically for free. You're actually going to be burning through command point.
Yeah, so we'll just start with Space Marine stuff. So usually Space Marines, when you think about them, right, your Space Marines, you don't usually have a lot of detachments. So you're maybe mining I'd probably say most Space Marine armies are going to have 11 to probably 15 command points, really, when it comes down to it. So like the Indominus one, right? It's cool. I like it. I think it's great. There's some good rules. There's some other things. But in order to get it, you start off, you have to spend a command point to get the detachment and get everything added. And then on top of that, to even get the cool stuff, you have to spend another command point on each one of the units you want to do cool stuff on. So for me, that's you're basically throwing away almost probably a third of your command points even before the game even starts.
Wow.
So then on top of that, the command point stuff that you can utilize in it is okay, but I'm not sure if it's going to give you that great of a bonus that's really going to help you change the way you play the game. Like I just, a lot of the stuff when I read it, it's kind of cool, but I don't think it's really going to change the meta too drastically because a lot of these units you aren't seeing people take right now at all. So Dominus Crusaders is very cool. Main one is that, so it basically affects your intercessor squads and interceptor squads. And then you have to pay another command point for each one of your squads to make them veteran intercessors. And that unlocks all the cool stuff.
Okay.
Which is targeting a character, making your things rapid fire too.
Oof.
And but that's only for intercessors though. That doesn't actually affect the interceptor squad that you've actually upgraded, that you've paid a command point to give it the new keyword.
Wow.
So
waste.
Space Marines have the same name: intercessors and interceptors. What are the ones that jump in?
Those are inceptors.
Inceptors, yeah.
Interceptors.
Yeah.
No, not interceptors. Inceptors.
Inceptors. Okay. What's the other ones?
Intercessors.
Intercessors. What do they do?
Those are the replacements for tactical Marine.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're just standard Marines.
Yep.
Primaries.
Yes.
Yep. And then you have, they have basically the Ultramarine Vitchex guards, right? Which are basically it's Stern Guard and veteran squads, Vanguard veteran squads. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to bring out some of those old models, but it's only Ultramarines. So unless you have Ultramarines, it's not really going to work out for you too well. But for one command point, you can pick a Vetrix Guard unit from your army within 6 inches. You can add one to the hit rolls and attacks made for that for attacks made by that unit to the end of the phase, which is kind of good. But the really one you would like to do, I mean, the 3 command points allows them to basically do heroic interventions. So not that great. I don't think you're going to see that one much. And unfortunately, I'm an Imperial Fist player, so the Imperial Fist Siegebreaker cohort, I just don't feel like you're going to see that in a tournament setting. Maybe fun, friendly games. You're playing defense missions in this book and doing that kind of stuff, where you're blowing up stuff would be very good for buildings or vehicles. But to be honest with you, in a tournament scene or competitive scene, you're not going to see it. My favorite one is the Crimson Fists.
Oh,
I think Crimson Fist they've got the best one because it does intercessor squads, it does Reavers as well as Hellblaster squads. So, I mean, so for the shooting one, you can. This is amazing. So if you roll a 6, it basically becomes Tesla, so you get 2 hits instead of 1. You can use that on Hellblasters, intercessors that are firing bolters, or you could use it on Reaver squads that just dropped in really close. So, yeah. So I mean, they also have one that you can actually, at the end of the enemy shooting phase, you pick one of your units, and it immediately shoots like it is your shooting phase for 1 command point.
Jesus.
And they have probably the best warlord trait that I've seen out of all this. It basically gives you a reroll hit of 1s for everything within 9 inches of your warlord. That's a big bubble.
Yeah.
To reroll 1s.
Yeah, it's a very big bubble.
So, I mean, then they've got a very cool pistol. I want a pistol that's strength. It's a pistol 2. It's like a mega bolter. It's pistol 2, strength 5, -1 AP, and damage 2.
God dang. And it's pistol 2?
Yes. Oh, and by the way, each time it makes an attack with this weapon hits, you can immediately make 1 additional hit roll. So you have 2 shots. If both of them hit, that means you have 4 shots.
Okay. So it does, but it doesn't explode after that. You don't get more shots or anything.
No,
it's
not like that. It's just, it's just basically. But I mean, the Black Templar ones is very cool. I think the Black Templar one is cool. They brought back the Holy Orb from 3rd edition.
Oh, really?
Which is fun. So, I mean, I don't know. I think Black Templars are kind of cool, but I just don't see the Sword Brethren stuff in here really being utilized too much in a tournament scene, maybe more for fun play. They did do something good for Ravenwing for Dark Angels. So they basically gave them some of the cool stuff that you would expect Ravenwing to have. Lightning reflexes, basically going in, attacking, coming back out again for a command point. So I think it's very fluffy wise on Ravenwing. I think it gives them an aspect to really make Ravenwing what they kind of used to be with the hidden run and stuff like that. So
that's fair.
I think it's good. And they also have a very cool Power Sword, the replacement. It gives you +2 strength, -3 AP, which you'd expect on a Power Sword, and it does D3 damage. But if you fight a monster or a vehicle, it's a +1 on the wound rolls, which is nice. Very good if you're fighting, monsters or something like that, or like a Demon Prince or something. So the Space Wolves one, I don't think is. Just reading over it, it's okay. It's very fluffy, but I don't really see it being utilized too much. So,
yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah. I actually, since I'm playing AdMech, I really may want to use the Cybernetic Cohort one. It's only 1 command point, but what it allows you to do is it basically your engine seers and all the HQ units, and then you're cast on the robots. But there's one really good one that you can use if you make assault cast on the robots. Is you basically add 3 to their charge roll. So if you're utilizing like Styges or something like that, and you have a lot of power fists, and you want to run those guys up, and so they can attack in close combat, then basically you're getting a 3-inch added to your charge roll, which is really good if you're playing that kind of list. And then The other one too is really good for one command point is that if you're using a shooty army, that first turn with your robots, you basically everything's heavy, right? And they're ballistic skill 4. So if you move, you get they basically become ballistic skill. You need a 5+ to hit, but you can spend a command point, still run them up the 8 or 9 inches. The 8 inches they move, and all their weapons become assault. So it allows them to move up and kind of. So for those kind of stuff, I could see if you're playing AdMech and you're using robots, that would be something you definitely use. And then the Servitor Mana pulls. Basically, what they're trying to do is getting people to play Breachers and Destroyers again by giving you some, giving you invulnerable saves, and then adding one to hit rolls. So they're basically trying to get you to use those units that they used in Warcon that they're not really using again.
Okay.
Yeah, the Gene Stealer stuff, I do not know how Gene Stealers play. I mean, the Gene Stealer cults play. But, I mean, someone mentioned that they really liked them in the chat, so I think they're probably pretty good.
Yeah, that's my understanding from our probably the only good Gene Stealer cult player here in Houston, Eric.
Yeah.
He seemed to be, if I remember correctly, he seemed to be pretty pleased with it.
Yeah.
Not pleased that he doesn't have his Gene Stealer Codex just yet, but pleased with that formation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, and then, of course, for Eldar, they're trying to get you to bring bikes again. So they're basically trying to get you to bring bikes again. So they did a Wind Rider host. It's very command point heavy, which is very hard on Eldars to use anyways, because Eldar usually don't have a lot of command points. So, I mean, and then the Wraith host one is, they're trying to get people to bring more race, Wraith Knights, Wraith Lords, and, all the race back into the game. So I don't think those are game breaking, and you'll see a lot of people use them in the tournament scene. They're already good enough without it. So
how are the orcs in this book?
the orcs, see, that's my problem is, like, I look at the orcs, the Stompa Mob looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does.
The Stompa Mob looks amazing. The Cult of Speed one, it looks beneficial, but it's very command point heavy. But orcs, I think it's very easy to get 2 battalions in orcs really easily. So it's command point heavy. But I think with you can advance this phase, double that unit's move characteristics instead of rolling a dice. So I mean, like, if you need to get something across the board really quick.
God.
I mean, it's 2 command points though. But I mean, I think orcs have a stratagem where you can actually advance and then charge. So I could see someone utilizing, getting like a 30-inch charge basically range.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man.
I mean, they also have another one where,
3 rolls.
I mean, this one's amazing, but it's 2 command points. But I mean, the unit can consolidate up to 2d6. So you could utilize that to totally go across the, 8 or 9 inches. 8's going to be your average.
Mm-hmm.
See another unit over there you want to tie up on tanks or something, use those Cult of Speed units, throw it over there. So, I mean, Cult of Speed's going to be amazing. I mean, every single time I read the orc stuff, I'm just like, orcs are amazing.
Yeah.
They really are. I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, and then, they have other orcs. I mean, orcs are just orcs everywhere. I feel like the Imperial, Astral Militarum, sorry. I mean, they got some stuff to where it'll help improve. You'll see some more units maybe with the, you got one for infantry squads. You got one for ballasts and hydras and wyverns to try to help improve that. I mean, for the Emperor's Wrath artillery, they have one, pounding barrage. So basically you can, I mean, it sounds like what it's going to be. I mean, you put it on a ballast and you get to shoot the tanks. And you need a ballast. So, I mean, that's beneficial if you're trying to do suppressing fire. So I think it kind of gives you a little more flavor. And I really think with Astro Militarum, that a lot of these, because they're very command point, they're already huge with command points. If you really want to play like tank company, if you want to play a lot of infantry, or if you want to have a lot of a lot of stuff in the background that you can utilize all these ones, and it's been beneficial, I guess you could say, because you already have probably 15 or 20 command points anyways. So
this definitely sounds like a book
yeah,
that orcs need to get.
yeah, orcs. I think Space Marines, if you play Crimson Fist, or if you want to do Primaris, I think there's a lot of good stuff in here. Plus, the background's really good. I've only read about half of it now, but it really lets an insight on why Vigilus is so important. It's basically the only way to get through the rift that opened up.
Okay.
Yep.
Because see, every set that's been coming out for the Kill Team game, they always have a blurb inside there talking about the Vigilus, and so I thought it was going to end up being just a straight Kill Team, some sort of Kill Team campaign. But it's interesting to see that they're combining all that together to make that one big campaign out of all this, and kind of kicking up that importance. It's like, oh, why is there 20 different races all fighting for Vigilus? This is like Medusa 5 all over again.
Oh,
an insignificant planet nobody cares about, that has no impact on the 40K universe, but Vigilus sounds like it actually does have a tremendous impact on it.
Yeah. If the Imperium doesn't have Vigilus, it's going to separate everything. So you have to have it. So I mean, and this is, from what we've heard, this is book 1.
Yeah.
So book 2. I can't wait to see what they do with book 2.
I know. Maybe book 2 will get another Primarch.
Ow! I just felt something. What was that? Oh, rock salt. Damn, that rock salt. Oh, in the eye.
Oh man.
But the spoiler is Chaos is going to get the planet, so.
No. Necron's doing it. Necron's getting it.
Speaking of Chaos, and probably in the next Vigilus Defiant book, what are we, about 78 days away from a certain leader of the Black Legion getting a new model?
What?
I'm sorry, did I not share the information about Abaddon?
What?
Who's Abaddon?
Are they bringing Horus back?
What's that?
Little Horus.
Bringing Horus back?
Not Horus, but Abaddon.
That's Little Horus.
You mean the failure of all 13 Black
No,
Crusades?
Little Horus is I thought that was a different character.
I thought Little Horse is what, Logar?
No, Little Horus is at. Oh God, I'm gonna butcher his name.
Yeah. You do that. I don't know. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've read those books, but I thought Little Horus was actually a different character.
Adelon.
His name is Little Horus, but his name is Horus Axmandand. Aximand.
Okay.
The captain of the 5th Company. But his face got ripped up very badly, so he doesn't quite look like Horus anymore. I think was it who the hell ripped up his face?
Loken?
Yeah, it was Loken. I think Loken just
he
went beast mode on.
Anyways, they did a video a few days ago where World Screamer or Claimer or whoever the leader that's attacking Vigilus.
Harkin World Claimer. Come on, get it right.
Razor face. The only guy in the galaxy that cannot use a spear in close combat.
I wonder what I do with the sharp edge.
No, because he can only throw it. That's what he's got.
That's what I meant. When he's in close combat, he's like, "Oh, get the sharp edge away from him."
Well, you don't want to stab somebody with your spear. That's really rude. That's what you have.
It's Christmas time. You don't want to, poke their eyes out or something.
Thank you.
But I don't know, oversight, or they're just like, nope.
I don't know.
This is the first time I've actually read his rules that y'all just mentioned them. And I still can't believe it. Is no melee. There's no melee associated with it. Dear God.
I mean, I think even the Eldar with their seeing spears, I think the Warlocks and the a Farseer with their or Witchblades or whatever their spear is, the singing spear, they can throw it and stab people in close combat.
I've seen one
But
take a flyer out on double sixes twice, back to back.
oh, God. So I don't know. Well, you know what? Chaos just now finally, after what year is this in 40K? So about 30 some odd years and the game being out, they finally just got a model with a Thunderhammer. So it's going to take them a while before they could stab people with a spear.
What's this big mace thing do? I don't know.
Anyway, the video goes on rambling on about claiming Vigilus. He's going to defeat everybody and claim it for Abaddon. And then it's this countdown timer starts. And a couple well-known sources I'm not going to mention, but some people within LVO or the ITC head honchos and a couple others have said, do not go out and buy any third-party Abaddon models. So, and then there's a nice countdown that started about 2 days ago. It started at 80 days.
You know what's going to happen, right? They're going to bring out the Abaddon model, and then Marinus Calgar is going to punch him in the face and kill him.
God, that would be awesome.
That would be amazing. That if Calgar had finally died. Oh wait, wrong character.
You know what? I would be happy with that too. Calgar and Abaddon kill each other. Here's your brand new models, dead.
Yep, they're gonna do a right hook on each other at the exact same time, and then that's it. End of story.
No. Because the worst part is, Abaddon, he's part of the Chaos crew. That he's going to get killed by a Primaris lieutenant. Is going to be the storyline we're all going to hear.
Well, it's going to be a Primaris lieutenant that just got upgraded from being a normal Marine.
Yeah. Baroness Calgar was the chapter master. Now he's just a Primaris lieutenant.
See, you guys just jealous because it's going to take Gilliman to maybe take out Abaddon.
No. I think Calgar could do a better job than Gilliman can, because all a freaking Abaddon has to do is hit Gilliman's backpack and crush his life support, and he's done.
That's true. So sorry to interrupt, TJ, talking about Vigilus, but I thought about that.
No. That is fine. Yeah, because the only other really thing that they have in this book besides that is they have a lot of cool missions, which I do want to play some of these missions because defending and doing that kind of stuff would be really fun. But then you have the new rules for Marinus Calgar, which is he's a beast.
You're gonna see him at LVO.
Yeah,
because his armor is exactly like Abaddon's, where it takes the damage and halves it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, but here's the Vitrix Honor Guard.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Dude, it's a 2/3. They're custodes, but then at the same time they're basically custodes guard, really, when it comes down to it.
Yep.
They have power swords, they have storm shields. They are a total grand point of 35 points. So the only thing is they do take up a slot if Calgar is not in your detachment. If Calgar is in your detachment, you can take as many as you want, and you're good. So if not, you're going to have to spend an elite choice to bring him if you want to bring another Ultramarines character.
You know what they just did?
Gilliman.
They took the Space Wolf's old 3rd edition rule with Wolfguard.
Yeah.
Exactly what they just did.
Yep. You're very right.
So sorry, Space Wolf players.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you can have as many Wolfguard as you want. Not anymore. But unless you play Ultramarines, they just want to be Space Wolves. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you'll probably see is at least a couple units of these, and they'll be surrounding probably like Gilliman if people are doing Space Marines, and then you'll see probably a apothecary.
Yeah. So he's going to be very difficult to take down. It's a lot of ablative wounds.
Yes.
How many wounds apiece they have? 2?
They're 3 wounds apiece.
Jeez.
So once he intercepts, they intercept the hit, they just suffer a mortal wound. it doesn't matter if you just put D6 damage on him. It's just one mortal wound.
Wow.
So you're just gonna have to shoot him something with very high rate of fire, and something like that to kill him.
Man, if you are not taking them and him or Gilliman, you're wrong.
Yeah, that's why I think that Ultramarines one with the Stern Guard and stuff, you may see some people utilize that, but it's very point heavy with that formation. Yeah. But with the benefits you can possibly get from it, may be worth the risk. But I don't think it is with some of the tournament players that I see. But I could definitely see people utilizing those two together.
Well, shoot, you just you load up, a couple of, maybe 1,000 to 1,500 points maximum on all that goodness right there, and then you take the remainder of your points and just load up on scouts and scout bikes, and you're good. You've got a solid army.
Yep. So, yeah. Of course, Harkin World Claimer, Harkin World Claimer's in this book too. I don't know. He's very interesting.
Yeah. I feel like it was a drop the ball.
Yeah, they should have made his Health Spear post combat too.
It kind of feels anything new that they come out with lately, there's a part of the ball that's been dropped.
Yeah.
Like October.
We don't talk about October.
Orcs did come out on October 34th, so they still got there in time.
34th.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could have. They could have put a different character out there, somebody else from the lore, not make up, the villain of the week.
That is true. I felt like they could have. There's a lot of other characters I think they could have brought from the Black Legion that may have been a little better.
Now, don't get me wrong. The model looks really cool. There's a lot of aspects about it, but I just feel like, and you've got, decades of Warhammer 40,000 lore, and you just make up some random schmo who's probably not going to survive in book 2, and then we'll see Abaddon. So it's like, it's a shame that they didn't put something else in there. Oh well.
The biggest news is this book.
Yeah, tell us about this book.
So me and Jonathan have already talked about it. We don't care that the custom character is only for open play.
Mm-hmm.
We're both going to do custom characters and use them as our generals in one of the battles, because it is. I think the custom characters, I think it should be depending on what level you want to do, because they do levels. They do like a normal hero can take up to 4 selections, mighty heroes is 6, and legendary heroes are 8, right? Of all the different charts. They should really make it to where like 20 points, you get a hero. Maybe 40 points, it's a mighty hero, and 60 points, you get a legendary hero and upgrade, and you just go in and pick it, because I mean, there's some ones that are better than others, but I really feel like this would be very cool to add fluff to your army on even the tournament scene. I think people could break it, but at the same time, if you put enough points on it, people aren't going to utilize it. If you're taking a captain that's normally 110 points and you're buffing them up to 220 points, people are going to be like, not sure if it's worth it. But at the same time, me and Jonathan talked about it, and we're definitely going to do a battle report where Jonathan and me and him are going to create custom characters I'm going to do a Space Marine, so I'll make my own like kit bash of a Space Marine guy and make them and utilize these stats and stuff so I can give them be like, I've always wanted to make a chapter master, so I'm going to do that. What are you doing for it, Jonathan?
I'm doing chaos, of course.
You gonna do a Death Guard guy?
I gotta name him like Jonathan Taserface or something. Destroyer of all worlds and known things to existing of living things and death and destruction. But that'll be my middle name.
I mean, Jonathan, the plague bearer of all
things small.
Of all things small.
Yeah, so that'll be
So
fun.
does every army have the option of taking that? So like custodes, orcs, tyranids?
Any
Eldar.
character can do it.
You can see an Eldar character out there that's just as good as Gilman.
Well, that just means that Clint and I are going to have to reignite our rivalry in his orcs and my whatever army I've got now. So custodes.
Yep.
I know.
They have some really cool stuff. I mean, like they have basically 36 different additional abilities you can give them. So we're talking like add 1 to strength, like add 2 instead of 1 to saving throws made from this model if it's in cover. So there's just all kinds of different stuff you can do on here that makes it really, really cool. And awesome. Then they have weapon modifications too. So if you have like you can make pick the model's ranged weapon, improve the AP characteristic by 1. So you have like a normal bolter, a Mastercrafter bolter, right? Instead of being AP 0, it's now AP -1.
Jesus.
So there's all this kind of stuff you can do with it. You can make your weapon a shredder, right? So you can re-roll wounds, in close combat. So, they have psychic enhancements too. You can add like number of powers or something to spell with it. So you can do all kinds of cool stuff. And then they have characteristic modifiers, right? Add 1 to your leadership, add 1 to the attack, add 1 to the model strength characteristic, So you can really make something beefier than what it used to be.
Awesome.
So it's very cool.
Yeah.
And the new missions are very interesting.
I think if we just sit there and we took some time and can figure out the points for each one, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to take the super duper hero, he's going to be like the 500 points. Like if he's like buffed as Gilliman, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we could definitely figure out a good point cost for it.
Yeah. Like the way I figured, if I'm taking, like a really buffed up character, he would at least have to be at least Marinus Calgar, level like 200 points.
Yeah.
Drago level, 200 points, Yep. You look at all the different chapter master and they're around 200 points. So if I was going to create a chapter master, it'd be 200 points, So, I mean, the new rules are cool. They have the match play mission rules. So they go over Battle Brothers. They put that Battle Brother rule in here. They have boots on the ground. So flyer battlefield roles can't capture objectives. But it doesn't say that flyers can't have line breaker or anything like that and other things. It just can't hold objectives. So limits of command. It talks about psychic focus, strategic discipline, all the normal stuff that we've seen. Nothing really changed there. And then after that, the book. This is what I'm confused on, man. So they have this whole thing on battlefield terrain, right, guys?
Right.
Like, I don't understand why we don't utilize these when we play normal games and tournaments. Like, there's like a crater on the field.
Just for simplicity.
Yeah. I tell you, from a TO's perspective,
Just gets complicated.
Yeah.
What's that?
Gets complicated.
Just
the same thing. It slows down. It slows down play, which is a shame because there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of cool stuff. Craters, servo haulers, those statues. There's so much that you could use, but especially when you're playing in like a tournament, not every table, unless you're forking out the money or to build and buy this stuff. Not every table is going to have the same thing. So going into like a tournament setting, you want to try to keep the tables as balanced as possible.
Yep.
And simplistic.
Yeah, exactly. Simplistic, which is a shame because we're missing out on a lot of cool effects. Yeah. And I think AOS, correct me if I'm wrong, Ski, AOS has kind of the similar things, but it's a little bit more used in Age of Sigmar.
But it's still in friendly games you can use it, but it's too much upkeep. So like each piece of terrain, you roll a die, and then that piece of terrain has a special effect. And if you have 6 to 10 pieces of terrain on the table with mysterious rules, it's so hard to remember all those rules all the time.
You guys remember back you know, like you remember we had mysterious objectives,
Yep.
Yeah.
different things, and by turn 5 you're like, oh crap, I forgot been blowing up the one that
Yep.
blows up.
Roll one.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, you just keep forgetting them unless it's the Skyfire one. That was amazing.
Yeah.
No,
Skyfire and Nexus.
Yep.
You didn't forget that one.
No, you didn't.
So it is too bad, but I think it's just too much because I think, again, for the tournament play though, you have to keep it simplistic so it's on even playing fields, and then no one can toss the blame in aspects of that. That's the bad part. Like players can't dip down to that level of going, oh my God, it is a tournament, but it is a luck of chance. It is a dice roll game. No matter how good you are, you still got to roll the dice. So mysterious terrain or craters don't make an impact like people think they do, but if they use it to their strategic value and actually use the rules, games would play differently. But it's just too much of an upkeep.
Yeah, I think that's just what it comes down to. Is we already have problems with time, you know, and then you now throw in an additional thing that, you know, it's probably not going to be highly looked upon as something even needed from the community, you know. Yeah, we look at it as like, God, you know, there's so much thematic opportunity for it, you know, and then that it's the point of just the time already. We're already pressed for it.
One thing I've noticed too for Age of Sigmar, there's certain armies with pieces of terrain that come with their army during play. It's no point cost, and they have special rules. And 7 times out of 10, people forget their own rules on their own terrain during the tournament, and they don't have to worry about is that one piece of terrain or 3, depending on what it is. So,
yeah,
unless it's Sylvaneth, then you know those wildwoods. You just don't want to roll one. That's all I got to say.
I think we lost TJ. Oh well. Well, before he comes, while we're waiting for him to come back, I can bring up some information about the Las Vegas Open and the future of some ITC events.
Age of Sigmar. Wait, wrong time.
Well, I guess I'm sorry. I've been talking a lot. Ski, if I'm interrupting and you've got Age of Sigmar stuff, stop me.
No, I thought that's what you're going to talk about. ITC, Age of Sigmar. No.
Oh yes.
No.
Well, I think it's up on we have a link up on the FNP Facebook page for the LVO 2019 Warhammer 40,000 events, the update. There's a lot of information to go through. Just a couple of the highlights, and I really, really recommend that you guys read this. Not just because if you're going to LVO, but how a lot of tournaments, GTs, majors, RTTs are starting to really adopt ITC standards for tournaments. A lot of these things are going to start taking effect. A couple of the big ones, if you're going to LVO, they have a short video on the link on how to submit your army list, which had to be done by January 25th at 7 p.m. They have about a 6-minute video, but about the 5-minute 15 mark is the simple way of doing whatever it is they're trying to do in the beginning. It's crazy. So if you've got the BCP app, the Best Coast Pairings app, just fast forward to about the 5:15 mark, see how they're doing it, or just watch the whole video. But the interesting bits at about 5-minute, 15-second mark.
Which really, I want to commend them real quick because this, if people don't realize this, as a TO, and Mr. Owens there, or Dr. Owens, TO, and anybody else that has TO'd before, don't be lazy. Submit your list. Do what they ask. It helps us make sure you're good beforehand. 2, it helps us make sure we have everybody registered. It's just, I want to give it props to those guys because they're doing something up and beyond that no one's asking them to do. They're doing it on their own. So it's amazing. Like put your thought through it. Look at what you need to do what you're supposed to do what they ask you to do, and It just makes things go by smoothly. So, sorry, Dr. Owens.
TJ's back, so I'll let him jump in here in a second. They basically on the link on the FNP Wargamers site and the changes for LVO and really for the future. One of the biggest things you need to read is the ITC Code of Conduct. This is going to be in effect for LVO, and you do not want to be basically caught with your pants down just because you didn't take the time to read this very simple document.
Depends where you're at, and if you're in for a good time.
True, but I'm speaking in a metaphor.
Oh, okay.
But definitely take the time to read it, man, because you're going to screw yourself at a point. Because I would say about 10%, at least 10% of the players that could go to the tournaments, GTs and such, especially LVO, they're bad players. They're rude, crude, and they make the game miserable for everyone else. It happens. So this document,
40. That's all top tier usually.
Oh yeah, and it's inevitable. It's going to happen, especially as the game gets bigger and bigger. If it goes to an esport, this code of conduct's really going to save your butt and help you have an enjoyable game. As long as you're adhering to it, you'll be good. Your opponent adheres to it, and you should have a really good game. Even if you lose, you should still have a good, clean game.
Yep.
And to say that, don't listen to what other people tell you. Open the document, read it for yourself, verbatim, word by word, so you understand it. Don't listen to other people, because half the time they butcher it and they only tell you what they want you to hear.
Yes.
You know, the caveat on that, it's funny, is me and TJ were just talking about it. So somebody in one of the big groups we're in posted a link, and it basically said, the tournaments now only have like 8 guys. I'm sure you saw it all today.
Oh,
and
yes.
Had 8 guys throwing money at each other. Okay?
I loved it.
And so some of the comments right underneath it were immediately, oh, yeah, I can't believe this GW, that's what's coming to, blah, 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 blah. And they took the 5 minutes to click on it and read it.
Yep.
And it was literally just a satire and a joke.
Yep.
Like literally, like they were like doing an interview of the guy, and he's like, "Yeah, this makes it so much easier. We don't even have to paint models, and we just throw money at each other, and whoever's the most money wins." And it says like, "As in Dr. Walter Quarters," So it was a whole comedic thing, basically, that they just have money and not models anymore.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Touche. I gotta give him props for that, because the comments were priceless, because no one read it or watched the film. Nothing. It was amazing. Like,
nobody read it. Read it. Don't just take the first 5-word snippet. Read it.
Yes. And if you don't understand it, ask questions.
Yeah.
That's the other half of the caveat. Don't be afraid to ask a question, because there's people out there that's smarter than us that will have the answers. If we don't have the answers, or your friend doesn't have the answers, or your doctor doesn't have the answers, or the Games Workshop doesn't have the answers, there's someone out there that can give you the answer, but you have to ask the question.
Exactly. Don't screw yourself over by not taking the time to read this document. It's only a couple pages long, and it's not chock full of just a wall of text. Yeah. It's going to help you. It's going to help the TOs. It's going to be a good experience for you. Please. And it's not just for you guys going to LVO. This is going to start popping up at all these majors and GTs. I guarantee it. Even your local tournaments that are running ITC formats, they're going to be submitting through the BCP app, so you can get your scores and all that. You're going to start seeing this pop up. It'll be slow at first, but it's coming for you.
And I know the Texas Masters is starting out, and we have our own point system, and I think sportsmanship is a big factor. It is a big factor, no matter if it's a point factor or a game factor. But when you're dealing with money, if you don't, anytime you deal with money and high profile things, you have to start setting ground rules, because there's idiots out there that wreck the hobby and wreck the games, tournament or not. So people have to do this, just like the military. When someone messes something up, there's always a technical manual that has to come out because of that.
Okay. So the one thing I want to talk about is this rule right here. A player must bring an official copy, digital or printed, of all requested rules for his or her army. If a player cannot show a digital or printed confirmation of a rule, then she is considered wrong in any rules disputes involving a judge by default.
Ooh.
Third-party list building applications or unofficial printouts of the rules are not considered official sources of the information.
Love it.
So literally, if some guy's like, "Oh yeah, it's on my battle scribe that I just printed out," be like, "Give me your codex." But I mean, that's literally what they're saying. They're saying bring the official documents with you when you go to play.
Yep. Which
is amazing. And then, like, they go over stuff that shouldn't have to be said, but it actually has to be said.
Well,
and it's very disappointing that we've had people that have ruined the ability to just play the game, play it how it should be played. And, but the rules, I mean, they outline what red cards are.
Yep.
What yellow cards are, and they go over everything. It's something that I think had to be done to put it, some rules behind it, but at the same time, yeah.
I mean, think of the drama that's happened in the past year, though. Yeah. They had to do this. Yeah. It was coming.
But between the four of us of experience, how long been? If you add our combined total hobby in this, like the time frame, it's very sad to see this. And so in that aspect, where a game that when I started was the funnest game, even in tournaments, and then it's been getting to a point of toxicity.
Yeah.
Or people like TJ, I think you appreciate that as well as I do with the rule you read about. You bring the official documents. Yep. We put in our time and our money supporting our games workshops, our Forge Worlds, games, Citadel as a whole. When a guy goes in there and he doesn't support and hasn't bought anything and he's winning tournaments with an app, not saying that's the full thing, but it kind of is a slap in the face of people that actually put their money behind the product.
Yep.
So even if it's good or bad, we still do it.
Yep. Totally agree with you 100% on that one. So,
well,
I mean, but it's funny because I go see it all the time in tournaments, man. People don't have their codexes. They don't have the Forge World book that has the rules in there.
Yep.
You got to bring it. You got to see that official document too. Because I mean, a lot of people do it. It's sad, but some people may do it to cheat because they're like, well, no one's got this Forge World book, so they don't really know what this unit does. Yeah. And they're just going to utilize it on you, and it's sad that people have to resort to that.
I personally heard of people that happened to. Like,
yep.
Someone told me about somebody that did. I was like, or it doesn't. And I had my Forge World book when we looked it up, and he was pissed. He didn't go after it though. But it's just things like that it's one of those. If you don't say anything, then people won't know. But so many things came into light this last year that it highlighted it. It was screaming. It had to be handled.
Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate because I mean, I'm not trying to say Age of Sigmar is better, but for the tournaments I've seen or participate in, we haven't reached that level yet. Which is really, the community is not as, I mean, there are some nasty, amazing armies out there and people play for blood, but they don't cheat. They don't, like the guy that I played, he had the Chaos War Mammoth, but he used the Lord of the Rings Mammoth instead and asked me if that was okay. Of course, he already got approval from the judges, but he even asked me personally. And I'm like, dude, that's great. Play it that way. And he had the rules right there.
Yeah.
The official rules. I'm like, and he stopped my butt. But it was like everybody I've talked to in that, and I just hope we don't have, I hope Age of Sigmar never gets that far. But I have all good things go in one direction. It usually goes bad. So I just, I don't know. It's just bad to see things like this happen. It really does.
But I'm thankful that all the people that contributed to getting this document, not just the code of conduct, but the new ruins update, you need to read that too. All this stuff that they're doing, I'm glad that they took the time to put this together, because I'm sure they all have their own jobs on top of trying to run the ITC organization, set up LVO. I mean, trust me, setting up a convention, not easy. I mean, Alan and I, if I had hair, I'd been pulling it out. So the fact that they took the time to do this, set this up to make sure our player experience is a good one and memorable, and we can walk away from Las Vegas Open happy, even if we did lose. That's huge. So
Oh no, I will.
Oh, Age of Sigmar. We're gonna get hammered.
So,
yeah.
So what else you got for us, TJ, about chapter approved? Anything?
I mean, if you want to look at chapter approved, I mean, you have a beta codex of Sisters of Battle, which is amazing. So I think Sisters of Battle are going to be a very meta-changing army, I think, when it comes down to it. I think the beta codex is a very strong codex. I think you may see people, I think you're definitely going to see people use it in conjunction with other Imperial armies, like we've seen with the Imperial Soup. So, but I know the Sisters of Battle, I mean, I want to see the new models to come with us, just from a hobbyist point of view. But I mean, there's stratagems that are really good. You can give stuff. You can give like your tanks like a 4-up invulnerable save or something like that. And so
the Penitent Engine,
it's
one of my favorite models,
Yeah.
attacks twice. And the name, God, what is the name? The name, I was just like, oh, geez. Because I read a lot about the engine.
Like a little train, the engine that could.
Nah, man. No, right?
all right.
The Penitent Engine, right?
Only the penitent pass.
That one, right? Yeah, so basically, like, they're just pretty much striving to die to make up for and do much damage as they can before they do. But it's called Desperate for Redemption. And then you can fight twice in each fight phase instead of only once.
Is the dude on the chair, does he have rules?
No.
With the dreadnought body, whatever, the throne guy?
No.
He's not in here.
Is that his sister? I thought that was
No, he's an Inquisitor, Ordo Hereticus.
I've been waiting for his rules to come out, because I love that model.
You really?
Oh, dude, that's an amazing model.
Yeah, I have to agree. That's a badass model.
I mean, if I could be that guy, I would be that guy, because that is amazing.
Sitting in a chair yelling commands
on this throne on a dreadnought body.
He got banished to the warp, okay? With the rest of the Ordos.
No way.
Yeah, you didn't hear about that? You didn't watch Emperor Aztec's speech? He got banished.
That's not canon.
That didn't happen?
But if
no pick, no proof.
If the sisters are good as you guys are saying, I might have to make some Space Wolf sisters in the future.
Dude, sisters look amazing.
You gonna make hairy girls?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? They're like Vikings, but holier than thou.
That sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Holier than thou women.
Yeah, that does sound amazing.
So, also in this book, they have the Renegade Knight that is on the website. So they printed it out. Very nice for you in this book, so you can carry it around instead of having a printout. Then they also did something very cool for the Tau. It's something that should have been done a long time, but they brought the 8 back, which is Commander Farsight and all his minions.
Which is amazing.
Which is actually truly amazing. And it's 1,120 points for everything.
Really?
There are no options. There is nothing. It's you pay that many points and you take this. That's it. Everything listed on what your war gear is. There is no picking. There is no choosing.
Wow.
You're taking that.
Now, out of the Tau, Farsight, or Farsight is my favorite Tau character because of his fluff.
But the fact he wants to get in your face and kill you and not like run around and shoot you, he wants to just like rip you up into close combat.
Well, because he has the demonic sword.
Dude, that guy's got to be dead because Tau don't live this long. What's up?
And he can't be corrupted by the warp because he saw into the warp, and it just blew his mind so much he can't even be touched by it. And then his demonic sword that I think, right, anything it kills, it gives it whatever lifespan's left, gives it to him.
Yeah. So Farsight, he's got the.
I guess that answers TJ, how is he alive question.
Yep, I guess you're right. Damn it.
Which I think that character, like, that's why I love that he's not like Tau. I mean, he's Tau, but he's like the bad redheaded stepchild. You know, I love it.
Why? Because he's red?
Well, because he got banned, exiled.
Yeah.
He's also red.
Well, if you want to paint him that way.
But when those dudes come on the battlefield, they rip up.
Didn't they drop the point cost on what crisis suits were?
Yeah, as far as point drops and stuff, I think most people got on the point drops because you got to look at everything. But yeah,
We got point drops before they dropped.
yeah, crisis suits dropped a lot, which is good.
Good.
So did the missile Rock'em Sock'em suits.
Broadsides?
Yeah, broadsides dropped,
Yeah, broadsides.
which is kind of insane that those dropped. Those are amazing, and they dropped even more. So I honestly think it. I honestly believe in what's it called that we will see at LVO. We will see Tau and Tau armies close to the top tables
Oh yeah.
with some of these point changes.
Yeah, especially since the supremacy suit came down like 500 points or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got some news. If you haven't noticed, though, sorry. Forge World, some of their prices have dropped.
Ooh. Whoop.
Yes.
Interesting.
I was thinking about Tau, but there was a Tau or something that the chassis, the body dropped by like almost a couple $100.
Oh wow.
So, not saying it's something I noticed. I don't know why it just clicked, but this could be a sign with some of the outrage, but something did drop.
Yeah, it could be. But no, I mean, there's just point drops all across the board. I really think which is good to get a lot of these units and stuff back on the battlefield, which need to happen. Some of these things that people have bought over the years really need to get back on the battlefield. So,
yeah,
it's a good thing. It's good. It's good.
Well, awesome.
But other than that, I mean, they do have some updated data sheets which are cool, like the intercessors. They basically say that your sergeant can he can replace his bolt rifle with a chain sword or a power sword or a power fist, or take a chain sword, a power sword, or a power fist in addition to their other weapons. So they got the new rules for the fiends that are coming out in the new Rapture book. They did the re-thing on horrors. So they have Blood Crusher and Flesh Hounds also in here too as well. So
Age of Sigmar, they just did an FAQ to clarify some rules with I'm not sure if it was the Seekers. I think it's the Seekers or the Fiends or the Banner. There's something, but they did some updates for Slanesh and for Age of Sigmar.
oh, nice.
It's only because of the box set.
Yeah.
No.
I gotcha.
Supposedly the updated rules are in that box set too, so which is good.
Did you guys, just curious, did you guys read the article about Games Workshop and the California fires?
Yeah.
So I just want to say, I don't know who's watching and I'm not kissing butt, but I want to say thank you, Games Workshop, for what they did as a company that I've never seen them do ever, since I've been in this hobby ever. What they did for that was amazing. So thank you, Games Workshop. That's truly awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you guys don't know what it is, if you go onto the community site and just read the article with Fire Relief, the local Warhammer community steps in. They helped out with some things in the fire. So get a chance, read it. They really stepped up their game on that one.
Yep.
Yep, and it was started out by the Independent Characters podcast. So,
Yep.
which is very cool.
Oh yeah. Did you want to make that announcement, TJ?
We can, or you can make it. We're going to get a hold of. Well, I guess yeah. So we're going to get a hold of those guys, and all the money that we've collected that we were saving up for microphones and other things that are for the studio, we're going to send all that stuff their way to help support the people that lost their armies and houses and everything like that. So it's not much, but it's what we got. So we're going to do it. So the microphones on the studio and some of the other stuff that we've been saving up with our Patreon support, as well as our YouTube channel and stuff, we're going to use that to move over there. So it may take us a little longer to get some stuff, but I think
It'll be a
that
lot delayed, but those other people are.
much better cause.
Yeah.
So hope our Patreon people are okay with that. So, but yeah, if we feel like, and then I'm gonna see what else I got. I got a lot of stuff. I may send some stuff over there that way too as well. So
Yeah, because me and TJ are talking, and just imagine how many armies. We've all been playing a long time, and have a lot of armies, not just one. And
Yep.
Just imagine it just disappearing. I mean, hours upon hours of your life just gone.
Yep.
So let alone losing everything. Not mentioning even that, but the one thing you have, which is our hobby. And then just losing that. So.
Yep. I totally understand it, because I'm lucky enough to get a lot of my stuff put up as high as I could with the flood, or I would have lost everything myself. So
Yep.
I understand. So
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't mean to be a killer.
No, that's okay.
A mood killer.
No.
Yeah.
It's perspectives. People have to put things in perspective,
It's true.
And what do you all think of the new Norse Marine?
Oh, I am excited.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I'm looking forward to painting them. We got the contest coming up at Atomic Hobbies for it.
Yep.
I'm not going to compete in it, but I'm going to definitely paint, follow the challenge, paint it up, and submit it alongside everyone else's.
TJ's not allowed to compete.
Why?
I'm just kidding.
Not fair.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not. I mean, not like he's an employee there or anything. So
No, I know, that's why it was a joke. Because everybody was talking about it, and they're like, basically like, Jonathan and John are allowed to participate.
me,
No, me.
the other John.
No, yeah, John, the other John.
So,
Okay.
so you're saying I need to get it and do it and blow people's socks off?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Everybody get in on it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've how do I explain this? So since I've been an organizer for AOS and with the Texas Masters, I've taken a step back and more of the I'm gonna say not really participate. Like I'll go to the big tournaments and stuff, but I rather judge and I rather see the talent and be a part of the hierarchy now, since I've been down below. And I'm still painting, but I like to look at things and be the judge.
Then if you would want to judge, or TJ would want to judge, then you'd have to obviously forego, the judging portion of it, but you still participate by showing off your awesome model.
Yeah.
So
Is this before LVO?
yes.
Oh gosh, yeah. Then that can happen. I got too much work.
Yeah, me too. That's why I've been working on it this whole show.
Yeah, I wish I could, but
I
want to.
everything done. I'm getting work done.
And last but not least that I know of is the Warhammer Adventures. with was it Attack of the Necron for 40K and City of Limestone for Age of Sigmar are the 2 titles, and they're audio dramas. It looks like, right?
Probably, or Audible.
Audible.
One of the 2.
And if you didn't know, David Tennant is voicing the 40K book, and Billy Piper, which
I know.
which she's amazing, and she's going to be doing the Age of Sigmar stuff. So,
Oh my god, dude! I saw that and I was like, no way.
Yep.
David Tennant.
So you got the Doctor Who crew doing the first 2 Audibles, one for each realm.
Well, and why those 2 are doing that, Catherine Tate, who played Donna Noble's on another one. She's the one I'm excited about.
And you can pre-order those 2 right now, by the way, on Amazon, I think.
Oh, yes. I like Catherine Tate as an actress. I'll be fair. She had to grow on me though.
Yeah.
She had to grow on me. However, Pond, she. Not even into redheads.
Don't look behind you right now.
Why?
Right when you said that, the look.
I hope there's no one behind me because there's no one here.
Oh, damn it.
My wife's in the room.
Oh, man.
That's good, though.
What article was that announced on?
What's that?
What article was that announced on for the...
Who's going to be participating in that?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I mean, it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
No, it was like a month and a half, 2 months ago.
I don't know, man. It's all a blur to me.
I forgot who did I share it with? It was someone who's a Whovian fan. I shared the picture and they were like, "What? No way!" But then you guys are Whovians, I thought, so I'm not gonna.
November 17th is when they announced it. November 7th, yeah.
Yeah, I see it now.
Month and a week. I was almost close.
I don't know who are these actors. I've never heard of them.
Do you ever watch? You don't watch Doctor Who? Do you ever watch Jessica Jones?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what's his name.
Yeah.
Killjoy.
Did you ever watch? Oh man, what's that show with Josh Hartnett? Penny Dreadful. Yeah, she was in Billy Piper's. Do you ever watch Penny Dreadful?
No, I haven't. I do recognize her though. So okay. Got it.
And she's also a pop singer.
I know she's a pop singer.
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Can't wait to get those books. Give them to my daughter and say, "Read these, enjoy them." Next thing, I'll have her on the channel playing 40K with me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, guys, it is getting that time of lateness.
That's a late show.
My NyQuil is kicking in.
Jake, you're smiling. Yeah. What is this?
Well, as always, I want to thank our Patreon supporters that help us out and everything, which we're now going to just turn around and hopefully, with a little bit to help someone else out in greater need. We can wait to get our mics and other equipment. So we're going to do that. And, as always, you guys could go to our Patreon and support us. And we have a whole Facebook group that we chat in, and people just chat with us on a regular. And and then we've got some other cool goodies in there, dice and other things, and a little VIP with that Tej. Got that VIP with Tej. Look at that. I'm gonna click on TJ. Look at that. Who doesn't want to be VIP with that?
Oh,
We're already in the bed. I mean, you're already halfway there.
Yep.
Wow.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much, everyone who participated as well in the chat, and everyone who tuned in to watch us and listen to us have really good things to say, as well as our constant rambles and silliness. And so I'm thinking Tuesday does fall on Christmas. So we'll have a chat if we're going to have a show. We'll let you guys know on the Facebook group. People may be out or doing family things for Christmas. So again, guys, anything else?
No.
No, I mean, if the show may be a little short on Christmas, but I'll definitely try to get on here and say Merry Christmas to you guys on Christmas. So
Yeah, we can hop on and say Merry Christmas. Us who's around.
is that Christmas Day or Christmas Eve?
Christmas Day.
Okay, I could do that because I might be very intoxicated or hungover, but I will make it.
Yeah.
I might be on the road driving back from Dallas, but I'll let you know.
You'll be on the lamb.
Yes, I'm going to be on the lamb. The 1920s.
Just be safe, everybody. Have a great.
Yeah.
Bye, bye,
guys.
Good night.
Night.